Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys my World Chalice Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for September 2017. I wanted to do this deck profile for quite a while now, but finally got around to doing it. It's a really fun deck, probably the most playable pure Link deck we have at the moment, which should be subject to change later on, but for still, I wanted to give you guys this deck profile. A lot of fun since it really focuses on the Link summoning mechanic for a lot of its plays. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the deck profile. Now, the World Chalice deck uses a variety of normal monsters, and the ones I like to use are Beckoned by the World Chalice and Chosen by the World Chalice. I know there are some decks in which people do like to run all three of them, including I think she's a level 2 version, but I prefer just to stick with these two and then go with the Venus and Shine Ball play as well, since it's very, very fast with Shine Ball compared to just using, like, let's say, Rescue Rabbit or Unexpected Die for some of the plays. And these two are the most powerful ones, which are why I kept them in mostly. And all the World Chalice monsters have different types and attributes, including these two. And I also like Chosen by the World Chalice because he is searchable with Emergency Teleport, and Beckoned by the World Chalice is searchable by Reinforcements to the Army. So they both have their pluses. And both are also obviously summonable by Rescue Rabbit as well. And I also run 3 World Legacy World Chalice. This is a very important card in the deck because it sets up so many plays. If a monster is special summoned from the extra deck during the damage step, you contribute this card, and basically, and that monster, send it to the graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. Sorry if I'm kind of botching the effect, going off of an allergy in my eye while I'm making this video. If this face-up normal summon / card leaves the field, you can special summon 2 World Chalice monsters from your deck, except World Chalice Legacy, World Chalice. And the other effect is, during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to add 1 World Legacy card from your hand. So overall, very good to get off and easy to get off as well. You just have to make sure that's in your hand. It's the best place to have this card to get off its abilities. Definitely run 3 though, because that's the most consistent way to get off its effects. And also run 3 Lee, the World Chalice Fairy. Your level 2 fairy of the deck. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 World Chalice monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard. To add this card to your hand, you can only use each effect of Lee of the World Chalice once per turn. She is basically search power, which is very needed in the deck, and you can also recycle her as well with a very easy effect to make use of. And she's also one of the different types and attributes that the deck uses that you can make use of, so you can't go wrong with that as well. And I also run 3 World Chalice Guard Dragon. Now, this card, I swear, is going to be a hand trap in the near future, just because of the first effect. When a card or effect that would target a linked monster you control, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. It's basic protection right there and its effect, and you can banish this card from your graveyard and target 1 normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense to a zone a link monster points to. You can only use this effect once per turn, but the protection effect is very nice, which is why I like to run 3. I know some people prefer 2, but I really am all for the 3 of in the deck. You can't go wrong with the graveyard effect as well, since we have other ways to also get it into the graveyard with this ability. And then for the non-World Chalice monsters, I run 3 Venus. Like I said, I like to run the Shine Ball combo in this deck. It's just so much consistency that helps with a lot of plays in the deck. Getting 3 Shine Balls out really, really helps with your Link summons, since a lot of them require normal monsters, including, which we'll get to in a little bit, but basically Imduck as well. And obviously with the 3 Venus, we also got to go with the 3 Shine Balls, which, thank God, Venus special summons this card from hand or deck, just because there are some situations where I will draw at least 1 of the Shine Balls in my hand and want the Venus play to go off. And the biggest problem with the Venus play is obviously when they drop Maxx C, because you want to get your play off, and if not, they're going to hit into your Venus next turn if you don't use her for plays. And I also like to run the Gem Knight engine, so I'm running 1 Garnet and 1 Gem Knight Lazuli as well. Lazuli just helps because of her recycle effect for the normal monsters, meaning you can grab back basically the World Chalice normal monsters as well from your graveyard if she's sent for the cost of Brilliant Fusion. Not the cost, but the effect of Brilliant Fusion. So really, really good to keep your pluses going that way. Also, 2 Blackwing Gofu of the Vague Shadow. This card, just like I said, good link summon requirements as well, getting the tokens out, getting more monster requirements as well. And lastly, for the monsters, 1 Rescue Rabbit. This card grabs you don't want to grab the Shine Balls, but it can grab any of the other normal monsters you run for quick link summons, which is what the whole basic concept of the deck is, just to grab monsters fast to use for your link summons. And then for spells, I run 2 World Legacy's Hearts. Target 2 World Chalice monsters in your graveyard with different names. Add them to your hand. If your link monster would be destroyed by battle, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only activate 1 World Legacy's Heart per turn. The add back effect and protection effect from the graveyard. Like I said in other videos, I love monster effects with, not monster effects, basic spell and trap card and monster effects with effects in the graveyard, because it's basically like you're playing 2 cards in one, having that ability to use first off and then having that second one to go off of later on. And the Brilliant Fusion as well, run 3 of this. Just having Seraphinite for your 2 normal summons helps so much in the deck that you can't go wrong, because there are some situations where you're trying to get as big of a field out and the one thing you needed is just the 1 additional normal summon, and having Seraphinite just means that you have another card to go off of for your monsters to use for your link summon. And I also run 1 Unexpected Die and the 1 Painful Decision. Now, I've been going back and forth with these cards, just trying to see what I think the best combo is. Unexpected Die is good because you have to control no monsters, but Painful Decision just helps also for those 1-text searches, like if you have the 1 left of the normal monster, along with the additional that you can send and add, basically. So, situational, because you do want some in the graveyard as well, but this is more player preference. I'm going the 1-for-1 for now, 1 of each, but we'll see how that changes later on. And also 1 Soul Charge, grab back your resources to reuse, obviously, with this card. Foolish Burial, so you can send Guard Dragon to the graveyard and make use of its banish effect to grab monsters. And as I stated earlier, I also have the 1 Reinforcements of the Army and the 1 Emergency Teleport as well for the searches. 2 good for search and special effects. And then for the trap cards, pretty basic trap lineup. The Bottomless, the Solemn Warning, and the Torrential. Now the Torrential will probably come out for Solemn Strike, which I'm very happy we're getting easy Solemn Strikes very soon with the special edition, so that'll help a lot with the upcoming deck profiles, making it more of a budget card, as long as it doesn't get hit, which I'm sure it will not get hit on the ban list. If anything, just to 1. But anyway, moving on to the extra deck, I run 3 Imduk, the World Chalice Dragon. It just needs 1 normal monster except for a token to summon this card, which very easy with this deck, including Shine Balls. And during your main phase, you can normal summon 1 World Chalice monster in addition to your normal summon or set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. At the start of damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster this card points to, you can destroy that monster. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 World Chalice monster from your hand, which most of the time you will want to grab World Legacy to go off of its effects as well with this ability. Run 3, it's just too good. Plus, you don't have to worry about where the arrow points, because most of the time with the additional normal summon, you'll have this monster and that normal summon monster to go into your next basic World Chalice Link monster, which is Arum. I run 3 of this. Probably your best World Chalice, in my opinion. His effect is just too good for power. He gains 300 attack for each World Legacy monster in your graveyard with different names. You can tribute 1 World Chalice monster this card points to target 1 other monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if this card points to, you can only use this effect of Aurum once per turn. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 World Chalice monster from your hand, which is an effect that they all make use of, which is really good. It just, keeps your plays alive so much with the deck. And the 3 of, he's very powerful and easy to go into as well. You just need 2 World Chalice monsters, so you can achieve that very easily in this deck. So make full use of those easy resources to grab. And 2 Ib, the World Chalice Priestess. This card is your want to go to, not in the main link zone, but if you have one that points to it, you'll get more special summons off. Obviously, because of where her arrows point, you want to be very careful with her link summon play. You need 2 monsters with 2 different types of attributes, which there are a mass variety of monsters to run in this deck, so very easy to link summon her out as well. The link card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. and your opponent cannot target the linked card with card effects. If a monster this card points to would be destroyed by a card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead, and if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon one World Chalice monster from your hand. Two good protection cards, something the deck really needs to basically protect your resources on the field. And I also run 2 Ningirsu. He's good for the draw power concept of the deck, and to make him, he is a link of 3. You just need 2 or more link monsters, which you run a vast majority in the deck, so probably one of the more difficult link monsters to play. I might even bump him down to 1. It's just a possibility, probably adding in a Firewall Dragon or a Decode Talker, just basic play relativity to see what's easier. And also 1 Proxy Dragon. This card came out basically the same thing as Aurum, just a little more easier to get out if you need that situation where you just need 2 monsters and you don't have the correct monsters to make. And also 2 Link Spider if you have a better play to go off of for Field Swarm and you don't want to use your Link monster for the Link and just keep that space open and continue your chain going on. The better arrow to point to you obviously there. And lastly, 2 Gem Knight Seraphonite for the Brilliant Fusion play. Playing the 2 just because multiple ways to get off Brilliant Fusion since you have the Garnet and the Lazuli. Other than that, I might bump up some of the other cards out for Firewall, Topologic Bomber, and Decode Talker. It's all optional plays that you can possibly put into the deck. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, I'm always looking for recommendations on new decks to make for you guys. But until next time, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.